Good evening and welcome to my channel. This is Martha Makwata, and this channel is about simple recipes that you can do in your home. So this evening I bring to you a recipe about preparing baked Irish potatoes, and I want to take you along as I prepare this for my family. I've just come in from work. In Nairobi, Kenya, it's around 7:10 p.m. and it's just the time that we normally prepare our dinner. Though today it's a bit late, I came back a bit late, but we move. Traffic is normally at times so much on our roads. So I just want to welcome you to this channel. As you know, we are doing simple recipes that you can do in your home, not things that are rocket science. And something about us Africans, and especially Kenyans, we measure things most of the time using our eyes. As a mother, I can measure salt using my eyes, and I put it into food, and for sure it is perfect. So, but I'm trying to now measure these things and just bring them to you in quantities so that you're able to do your food in a very good way. So I'm not perfect. I'm not a food production person. I never went to a food production school. Most of these things are things that I've learned on my own. Some of them are things that have been passed down to me by my older generation. By this I mean people like my mom, my aunties. And so, welcome so much. These recipes, as I told you in my previous video when I was doing the cake, are mainly approved by my family and friends. Today I don't want to name them nephews and what have you. They are all family. So these recipes are mainly approved by my family and friends. And so welcome so that we move together. In this recipe, I'm using about 4 kgs of Irish potatoes. And these Irish potatoes are already peeled and they have been cut into wedges, as you can see. I don't know whether these are called wedges or whether these are called chips, but they are bigger than chips, as you can see. So, and part of the ingredients that will go into it is this about 3/4 cup of oil, 1 tablespoon of salt. Let me just bring it near. Yes, 1 tablespoon of salt. And when I say tablespoon, I just used this tablespoon that I use in my home. It is not anything strange. Then I measured 1 teaspoon of turmeric. The teaspoon is here. I used the behind part to scoop some cayenne pepper, and the cayenne pepper is here. This is turmeric, this is cayenne pepper, and this is black pepper. And into my recipe, there goes also, we call it dhania in Kenya. So maybe you can comment below. If you're not from Kenya, you can tell me how you call these things in your country. So it is a herb. It is not a thing, sorry. So next we will go right into mixing it before we prepare the next step. So before I do anything, normally I ensure that my potatoes are dried. If you look at them, they are not wet. They have a bit dried. And this is a requirement when I'm doing this recipe that I'm just about to teach you. So into this, I will add turmeric, and guys, my hands are clean. I've just washed them. I will add in my black pepper. I can say this recipe is a recipe that is a quick fix for your family. So I'll add in my cayenne pepper. And cayenne is normally a bit hot, so I'll try to spread it as much as possible, lest it falls on one potato and a family member gets it and it's so hot. Next, I'll put my, sorry for that. Next, I'll put the salt into it. And I'll be careful not to over salt it. If I feel that it is too much, I'll not put in the whole tablespoon. So I think that's enough. I'll leave this. So let's say we put in about 3/4 of the tablespoon. The rest, I'll reserve it for something else. So into this, I will put in now my oil. I'll just pour in. If you fear making your hands dirty, at this point you can put on gloves. Then you now mix. So I'll go in with my hands and just mix all the recipes together. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to ensure that every potato is coated with these very nice spices before I put this into the oven. So lately in Kenya, for the past like 4 months, we've been having bounty potatoes. So much. In our markets, there's a lot of potatoes. And one of my favorite writers, I don't know whether to quote her name, Ellen G. White. I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. So one of my, she says, I'll not quote, when there's a lot in season, when God has provided a lot in season, say a season with so much mangoes, a season with so much oranges, make sure that your family enjoys that. So I'll urge us to just ensure our family enjoys this. And I know that most of us nowadays are health conscious. We don't want to use a lot of oil, so we are avoiding chips. So this can be a good option for your family, because now with this you will not use a lot of oil. So next, I will add in our dhania leaves. I just like the green in the orangey color. So again, I'll try and mix it in just to spread the dhania so that it coats as much as possible on the potatoes. And so our potatoes are ready for baking. Okay, so our baking tray is here. This is where we are going to put our potatoes so that we pop them into the oven so that they bake. So I normally bake these potatoes for 40 to 45 minutes at a temperature that is 225. So we'll do that. I'll put the potatoes into this baking tray, then we transfer it, we pop into the oven so that we bake. And as we do that, I'll show you whatever accompaniment we are going to have with it. So at this point, if you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe to this channel so that you continue enjoying more of this. I'm just bringing you simple recipes that you can do in your home. So I'll transfer this to this paper so that I take them to the oven to bake. And as I have told you, we'll bake them for 40 to 45 minutes, and they should be ready for serving. So we are here. This is my baking stove, and I just want to set it before I put our potatoes in for baking. And so I said I normally bake at full. It is 240, sorry, not 225. Then I'll put baking up and down, as you can see. And I'll bake this at that temperature for 45 minutes, as you can see. So our light is on. Let us put them in the oven. They go. So they are right in there. We give them 45 minutes. And in the meantime, we will be preparing the accompaniment. I can say the protein that we will use we will eat together with the potatoes. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, and please tune on the bell notification. So I'm going to prepare these chicken fingers as a protein to accompany the Irish potatoes that we are baking. And so we'll use Irish potatoes and chicken fingers. And so to prepare is very simple. I'll use my kitchen scissors to just cut this packet open. Then from there, I'll fry them. So come along with me as I do this. So these are the chicken fingers. This is how they are. If you want me to come up with this recipe from scratch, you can also comment that I come up with the recipe and teach us how to do it. It's not so hard to come up with the chicken fingers. So this is what we are eating. So I'll just go ahead and add some oil into this pan. Just about 2 tablespoons of oil, not so much, into the pan. We've already done that. Then I'll switch on my stove. And after it warms, I'll add in one by one of these. So I'm already adding them in. I did this because I was running late. I wouldn't have started again preparing chicken from scratch. I've just told you in Nairobi it's going to 8 p.m. and I'm still preparing this. So if I started preparing this from scratch, I bet my dinner would have been late. So this is how it will go. I'll give each side about 3 minutes. I'm using low. So when making it, you put low heat so that it is able to cook through. If you put high heat, it will cook on the outside and the inside will not be so well cooked. So these that I buy ready from the supermarket have not been pre-boiled. When I make mine, mostly I pre-boil them. So I'll show you the end result of this. I've already turned them, as you can see. That's how they're turning out. And so after this part of turning, I'll now just ensure I remove them and I'll be sure to put them on this kitchen towel to just try and absorb the excess oil before I put them in our hot pot as we wait for the Irish potatoes, the wedges, to bake fully and be ready to be served. We are serving the same with cabbage. I have a help who is a day scholar. She comes in the morning and leaves and goes back to her house in the evening, and so she helped me to prepare the cabbage. So I'm doing the chicken fingers and the Irish potatoes, then I serve and we enjoy. So I'll show you the final result on a plate. So our potatoes are ready. We've already removed them from the oven. At times I don't normally wait for it to switch off. Provided that I've checked and I see that they are ready, I just pull them out because people are now hungry. Just look at how it turned out. Let us zoom in so that you're able to see the way they look. Very yummy, very beautiful. So I'll show you the same on a plate. Yeah, as you can see, our food is now ready and we've served it on a plate, just ready to enjoy. So this is how it has turned out. As you can see, this is our chicken fingers, very yummy. By the way, let me just say something. I was not able to wait. I had to taste one. I've said my secret. So this is how it has turned out. And let me just taste for you. I think we've come to the end of this video. If we continue, I will keep drooling. I will keep wanting to eat. It is so sweet. So try this recipe yourself and you will discover that for sure it is a simple recipe that can be done in your home. It's not rocket science. And so we've come to the end of our video, but before I just go, I want to urge you to subscribe, turn on your bell notification, and kindly comment if you've tried this recipe and if you're willing to try it. Until next time, bye and good night.